Chapter 46. A Free Will. My dear brethren, you have free will bestowed upon all of you and upon each of you by the Father, by the only Father of all. It means that you may believe in this or that way, and the Father shall not contradict you, neither shall I. If the Father did not allow you to use your own free will, you could not be the mortal children of God, who have their destiny by evermore experiencing Him through many stages of His manifestation in your life, both now and in the future, in the form of the soul and still later on in the form of the eternal Spirit, even as I am also, to develop into a better and perfecting person, into your own better self. If you had no free will, you would not differ from any animal that has no such destiny as you have, to evermore experience the Father and evermore spread love and goodness to all, and fuse with the Spirit of the Father indwelling each of you, and reach the center of all creation, Paradise, to be able to receive the confirmation from the Father that you have used His mandate in full and carried out His command, be perfect even as I am perfect, and that you have done it out of love for Him and of your own free will. It is only due to this free will that a creature that you call a man can develop and grow. And even in such tragic circumstances, when danger arises to the vital existence of your material body, when you are under a threat that the flowing of the vital energy to your material vehicle will be cut off, you still have free will to remain loyal to the Father or to turn away from Him. And you do that of your own free will. However, the majority of you erroneously claim that you have been made to behave one way or another because somebody forced you to do that. Nobody, not even the Father, can make you do it. The decision is made by your own mind all the same. And each of you makes a decision personally and of one's own free will. You may be influenced by some circumstances to behave one way or another, in a good or bad way, yet it is you who make the decision while making the ultimate choice personally. I have told you many a time, while in the human flesh, fear not those who could take away your life in the flesh, but by this they end their power over you. Fear those who could kill your soul. What is the use of preserving your life in the flesh while losing your soul? One thing is unshakable and indispensable. A free will bestowed by the Father is a steadfast sole factor of the growth and development of creation. Without free will, the creation would be but a vast operating field of robots, incapable of reaching anything more than it already has been achieved up to the moment, since an automatic machine cannot strive for more than it has been provided function to perform. Even within your own environment, you have similar machines that perform monotonous, even though top precision operations in industry, and they cannot choose any other operating function, for they are not designed for other functions. Neither can they change the functions of their operation by themselves. I have given you this example so that you might understand better what it means to abolish one's free will. Even though the automatic machines you have designed do not have that living energy, and they are but machines from the standpoint of their functioning, the situation would also be very much the same with mortals if they had no free will anymore. Therefore, you must realize that it is only free will that can provide such an inner environment to a free will creature, that the creature is capable of making a decision about how and what he must do. And having done it and having seen the consequences of the actions, he can even change his decision to encounter another sort of outcome. And he can also change his decision just because he enjoys free will bestowed upon him by the Father. Then you are torn by the inner contradictions that are absent in the mind of the most primitive man, for he is totally devoted to his instincts of serving his life, and he does not think anything at all about the consequences of his actions to his brethren. Neither are there any conflicts within the mortals in a highly spiritual civilization that awaits you. In this civilization, the stage of conflicts, both from without and from within, is ancient history. And now all the people have set up a spiritual community by serving one another. And this harmonious interrelationship and inner devotion to the Father discovered within eliminates all the conditions for the outbreak of spiritual shocks and conflicts. It does not mean that this society has nothing to tackle in their lives. They can continue to strive and do strive for a greater revelation of the individual self by bestowing oneself by good deeds upon the whole environment, children, classmates, colleagues, society, all creation, and the Father. Therefore, this sort of development is truly based on the Father's love and truth. Tension and stress disappear from life. Man's life acquires the vibrations of joy because man's ego ceases to gain profit at the cost of others. And it is trying to use his own self for the benefit of all. And all this adds to the material welfare of society itself. Science and the economy are developing to meet the needs of the whole rather than the interests of separate groups seeking a profit. And it is only the formation of such conditions in the course of a long developing humanity that allows competition to be replaced by cooperation out of the depths of the heart under the leadership of the Father from within. And once this community is led by the most spiritual members of the society, this type of the society then becomes an effective implementation of free will of each person out of love for the Father and for one another as for brethren. You can also receive evidence that this sort of living is much higher in absolutely all walks of life of the society. Try to set up a group of such people who have already experienced the Father within their own selves, who have already established their intimate cooperation, communion with Him, who have already felt His love within themselves, and let this group undertake some joint venture, even the one that might have already been undertaken by others. And you shall notice that after some time, the results of this latter group shall outstrip the performance of the other groups, and moreover, the feeling of love for each other, even within the same group and for all, beyond its boundaries. The energy manifestation of the group activity will increase. The will provide them additional power. And soon all this will also be noticed by other people around. Now my words sound like a fairy tale or a fancy. However, I'm telling you all this for you to verify. Meanwhile, to carry out this verification, the only condition that is necessary is that all the members of such a group must have faith, and their free will must be devoted to doing the will of the Father. It does not mean that they all must become priests, spiritual teachers in the direct sense of the word. It means that they must believe in the Father, not by performing dead rituals and professing dogmas, but rather by having felt the Father's love themselves, within their own selves, would share it with all, and commune with the Father through their sincere opening up in personal and collective prayer. Then the life of such a man turns into a spiritual light and becomes a spiritual teaching to others who are striving for this path. And such a man can carry on doing different jobs. Only his attitude to his work shall be different. He will work out of love rather than for a reward. The same job, but the motive is completely different, and the reward shall arrive soon, even greater than the man might have expected. That is the condition for all the members of that new group that has formed by itself or has been formed by others to confirm my words in practice. The time shall come when my words will become clear even to children,